Hey, hello, welcome everybody on this very, very, very cold Sunday. It's Sunday, January 14th, 2024. And wow, right now it's a balmy -8 degrees here in southeast Wisconsin, at least in my neck of the woods. It's actually colder in some other parts of Wisconsin. We've just come through a major snowstorm, probably one of the most serious snowstorms I've seen in many years. So, yeah, we were due for like the last 4 years. We've had pretty mild winters. I think I haven't gotten my snowblower out in like 4 years until the past couple of days. I'm tired. I'm beat. I'm sore. My right shoulder gave out during the workout this morning because I've done so much shoveling over the last 2 days. That, yeah, it's pretty intense. So today I want to go over a few things. I'll touch on the snowstorm a little bit more in depth. Then I want to move on to modifying the Joust Cabinet, which you saw in the title. Good morning, Gotham. Good to see you this morning. Thanks for coming on. Uh, yeah, so the snowstorm. Gotham, I think you're in Chicago, are you not? So you guys got hit, but not as hard as we did, I don't think. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Let me do this. Share a window. All right. So this was halfway through the snowstorm on Friday. This is after we had pretty much between 6 to 8 inches dumped on us. And so as you can see, this is before I actually did my first round of shoveling. And the plows had already put their first round of driveway blockage in place for me. That's okay. They got a job to do. I understand. But yeah, so just going through these pictures, the end of my driveway buried in. The thing about, I'm sure if you've shoveled the end of your driveway, you know, when the plow comes through, it's mixed with water, salt, you name it, and it makes it hard to chip away at. So I got to get better at showing some of these comments while I'm talking. Some of these professional YouTubers have it down. Gotham, you're more than welcome. I have so many content creators that I watch. Sometimes some folks get missed. And so yesterday I kind of made a point to go back and watch some stuff I haven't watched in a while. So it was great to see your video. And while I don't have a gloom and doom outlook yet. I mean, I'm maybe 60, 70% there, but I kind of want to wait and see what happens in April. I know you talked about that. But yeah, going back to the snowstorm, this stuff was coming down hard for quite a while. And when I took these pictures and decided to go out and shovel for the first round, my neighbor had already gone through with his snowblower. He sometimes does part of my sidewalk, which I really appreciate. But so we had a lull between two parts of the storm. And so I went out and did my shoveling. And as you can see here, I actually got the shoveling done. Got a big mound going at the end of my driveway. And another big mound on the other side of the driveway. So the thing about it though is you know, and this actually happened. I turned my back after completely getting shoveled round one, and the plow came through. Boom, my driveway was buried again. So it's Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will, and it did here. So yeah. So this was in the evening. It had snowed a little bit more, and I actually had to shovel a place for my dog to go out. So This is my patio in the backyard. And so I dug out a pathway for her to walk from the patio door to an area out back, and it was just ridiculous. Actually, I think this is after the second round. Yeah, because the patio is thoroughly buried. This is my swing, and then I have a little wood burner out there. And the way the wind was blowing, it was blowing the snow up against the back side of my house. And somewhere over there, underneath that floodlight, is my air conditioner, and it's almost totally buried. But I did check my furnace vents; they were clear, so I was happy about that. There's a little area I shoveled for my dog, and the patio once again. Looking back from the dog's little area, we just got hammered, and my girlfriend was joking and said, "So, do you want a grill?" That grill is buried. I don't think we're going to be grilling for a while. And we have sometimes grill in the last couple of years. We have grilled out in the winter because we had no snow to deal with. So now I don't think we're going to be grilling till like March or April. So anyway, I hope the audio's coming through okay. I go through and test this stuff before I go through. And I've had a problem with mic sync with my lips lately, and I know Michael B dealt with that. But I'm trying new technology, and I'm trying to smooth things out in testing, and sometimes it doesn't always work. So yeah, that was the snowstorm. This is the front of the property after the second round, and I'd done some shoveling. Just a lot of wind. I think I did a pretty good job clearing the snow, though. Pretty intense, pretty intense. Oh, I didn't want to show that yet. So yeah, that was the snowstorm. Now we actually had some sun yesterday. So after the storm blew through or left, the sun came out. No, I did not go to work today. I Gotham. I went to work out in the gym at 3 a.m. and hey, how you doing, Phil? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I get up very early every day and I go work out. So I was a little late because I had to do some more shoveling. So I got to the gym. It was 3 above when I went to the gym at 3 a.m. Now, and when I left the gym this morning, it was -6 already. So the temperature dropped quite a bit. Yeah. So we're freezing up here. I hope you're staying warm, PD7. It's really bad out there. It's really, really cold. I hate the cold. My gal and I have a goal to move to Florida when I retire, and we'll see what happens. That's not going to happen for a few years anyway. So warmer climates. And yes, this arcade is coming with me. I don't intend, especially that Space Invaders after all that work I've put in. So Phil or PD7, you had asked yesterday. You had asked yesterday if I'd won anything. Well, I did 3 of them, and I didn't win squat. So I still have 3 more. I'm hoping that I'll win at least my money back in one of the last 3 that I got to scratch off. But it's a pretty fun little scratcher. I don't do scratchers very often, but this one I couldn't pass up because I saw the commercial when I was in the gym yesterday. And so my gal was with me right beside me, and I pointed to the TV and I said, "Look what's up there. We got to get some at the store." Because we got to go to the store to pick up dinner anyway. So yeah, I went and picked some up. Hey, Corner Kid, good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for hopping on the stream. Yeah. So yeah, I still have 3 to go. It's kind of fun the way you play this game because you I don't know if you can see them, but there's 3 Miss Pac-Mans that you start from. So you get 3 opportunities to win on each card. So you basically have to follow wherever the Pac-Man goes as you scratch. If you hit a ghost, you're dead. Then your game's over. So, oh, checking over the chat. Back to Synergy. Yes, I have plans. I'm off tomorrow because it's Martin Luther King Day, and my work does not work on Martin Luther King Day, so we're home on a holiday tomorrow. So I have plans to go to Synergy tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see if if the X-Men is still there and if I can get them down even more. I actually have, probably shouldn't say this, I have a thought in my head. I might actually try to get him to do a deal for one of those Infinity Game tables, or Infinity Game, the smaller ones, the game boards, the Infinity Game boards, and the X-Men. If I can get it both for say 550, I might jump on it because the gal we were watching your video, PD7, the other day, and she made a comment. She said, "Oh, that board looks neat." And so, and I think I got the gal interested in the Infinity Game board. Webcam. No, it's not really a new. I've had this set up for quite a while now. I did go out and buy better cameras. I think they're Logitech C922s, and I actually have them in 3 different areas. Let me pull this up. So I have 3 different cameras in the arcade. So I've got the desk cam here, and then I've got a camera shooting over one side of the arcade and another camera shooting from the front of the arcade. So you can look at one of those camera views and notice that the Joust is missing. Well, I have the Joust set up and ready to go. And let me pull up my cell phone camera. So the Joust is in my work area, and it's set up and ready to go for my live monitor replacement a little later. So anyway, go back to camera views. There we go. Anyway, going over the chat. This is the most chat activity I've had in any one stream. Just scrolling through the chat. I don't have my eyes on, so Cornercade, the Stream Deck, I have not tested with Restream yet. I've been doing, as you can see, I've been doing StreamYard for my streams, and I haven't paid for it yet because I haven't decided. Stream Deck or StreamYard is really easy, and I haven't really played with Restream yet, so I'm going to try and carve out some more time. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow since I'm home. But who knows? If I go to Synergy and pick up that X-Men, I might do a live stream tomorrow building that thing. So, but no, I have not tested with Restream yet. That's on my list. Sorry, brother. I'm sorry you got to work today or work tomorrow. Cornercade wants the Casinocade or X-Men. Actually, that X-Men is marked for me, dude. So if you want it, brother, you better go get it because I might beat you to it. And it's all good if you beat me to it. Somebody might already beat me to it already. Somebody may have bought it. So who knows? He does. I forget his last name, but his first name is Scott. But Synergy does have a Facebook Marketplace presence, and he does have several cabinets marked for sale. A lot of those Pac-Man Deluxes have been marked as sold. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Corner Kate says, "Let's go." Yeah, buddy. Hey, Ralphie, good to see you. Thanks for jumping on the stream. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get better at this streaming stuff. I haven't really attempted to get followers or anything because I know I'm an amateur and I'm trying to get better at it. It's really, even now with the chat being busier, I'm really going off the cuff here. Yeah, Synergy has everything there. I even told my gal yesterday about the remember the Bowflex 552s they had there, PD7. Yeah, told her about that. I'm not quite sure what you were saying here, but I think you were saying take Killer Instinct and put it in your Shinku Hadouken. So you just you want to reskin the Shinku Hadouken into a Killer Instinct with the guts from the Killer Instinct in it. That's what it looks like. You need to get used to modding, Corner Kid. You really do. It's fun. I don't go into my mods with the intent that, I'm going to screw something up, because if I do, I will. And it has happened. The NFL Blitz mod being one of them. I don't know. The screw holes, the pre-drilled screw holes for the volume and power, as you know, they were just out of whack. But I solved that with some Gorilla Glue, so that was good. New in box Pac-Man. I think they were charged. PD7 can correct me, but I think those were going for 300. The Pac-Man Deluxes were going for 300. Might be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure his video alluded to that. Let's go through the chat. Yeah, that's on my agenda too. I got to get on Joe's website, and I got to get the priority for me now is to get a new Dig Dug marquee. So that's my next purchase. Then Star Wars, and I might go up from there. Yeah, Phil's right, or PD7's right. I'm trying not to name real names here. Yeesh, amateur. So they do go down, but this time with the X-Men, he only went down 20. That's why I'm gonna go in tomorrow and see if I add the Infinity game board purchase, if I can get him down even more, even though I'm paying more because I'm getting an Infinity game board. I want to see what kind of deal I could work out there. Oh, chat. That's true, PD7. Everybody knows I'm Pete. I really don't mind having my first name out there. So let's talk about what I'm going to do today. Oh, I got to go back. I'm working. I don't know. Danny, I don't know what you're doing for your streaming setup. I know you use Restream, and I know you want me to test that, but I'm using OBS with StreamYard. And then I also have an audio mixer, a software audio mixer in there, and getting all that to gel together, because sometimes my lips are out of sync. In fact, it looks like they are now a little bit. I'm not going to mess with it because I'm too tired from shoveling. Oh, scrolling back. Oh, look what we have here. We have the bad guy, Mike Worley. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it on this frigid Sunday. Yeah, I live in Wisconsin and I'm used to it, but still, nobody likes the cold. I haven't met a person yet that likes it when it's this cold. And they had a race today. The Samson Stomp at the zoo, they have this time every year, and it's usually a pretty cold race. I've run it a couple of times. There's no way in heck I'm going to run that race today. And I know some of my friends are. I feel sorry for them. OBS, if you don't complicate it, it's not complicated. It boils down to scenes and sources, and your sources being your cameras and your mics and whatever else you want to throw at it. But I think I've found it pretty simple to answer that. Yeah, you're right. That's why I don't run in the cold anymore, because I ran here in Hartford. I just doxed myself. Oh, well. Up here in Hartford, I ran, what's that race called? The Big Chill. And that was on the coldest day in January. The feels like temperature was minus 50 that day, and I still ran a 10K. I'm telling, and that's the reason why I don't do it anymore. Because after that race, it took me a week to recover from that. My lungs were so destroyed. I mean, they were about as bad as my lungs were when I had COVID. So after I had COVID, ugh. So I think one of the other things I wanted to talk about was the Space Invaders mod. So I got an update this week, a couple of days ago. The marquee and the riser art have shipped. So Buy Stuff Arcades, thank you very much. There was a bit of a miscommunication. The guy there at Buy Stuff thought that they had already sent it out. And I'm glad I pinged them when I did last week, because he was under the understanding it was taken care of, and it wasn't. I never got a shipping notification. I did a couple of days ago, and I'm thankful. So it should be here on Wednesday, I think. And I hopefully will be able to finish the Space Invaders off. I'll have a marquee in there lit, and I'll have the front riser artwork put on there. I may shoot some video content on that and post it. We'll see. The other thing that I bought yesterday was screw caps. So I went on Retro 530's Etsy page, and I bought some blue and white screw caps for the side, because if you look around the screw areas now on that Space Invaders can, you've got some leftover artwork just kind of grained in there, and the screw caps will actually make that clean, and it'll really look finished. So I'm telling you guys, that's my favorite cabinet in this arcade. Even if it's unfinished right now, I'm having a blast with that cabinet. And it's true, as you go through and pick up arcade one-ups, you find yourself spending more time with that cabinet just because it's new and you want to just play the heck out of it. Well, this Space Invaders, I'm having a blast, and I've just been going through the games list and picking games and playing them on both the control panel and picking a shooter game, and it's really fun. Going back to the chat real quick, just so I don't miss anything. This. Okay, Cornocade, to answer your question here, there is a guy And I mentioned this to PD7 the other day. There's a guy named Jason Beardsley. Probably shouldn't have doxed him, but if he's on Facebook Marketplace. You've probably seen his stuff posted in the area because you're in the same area I am. But he's out of Sheboygan. He does sell a riser that has that seamless look. So check him out. There's a post on Facebook Marketplace. Again, that's Jason Beardsley, and I don't know if he makes them himself or he gets them from somewhere else, but he's been turning them around and selling them on Facebook Marketplace. So check that out. If I find a link, I'll share it, and then you can just go see it. I'm getting somewhat of a delay here trying to handle comments in StreamYard. Yes, I wholeheartedly agree, Gotham. It's that play. I've told them direct. I've said you guys are just amazing because everything that you've put out, I love, and I can't. It's hard to say that about a company these days. Everything they put out, you love, and Buy Stuff is one of those companies. I don't think I've gotten a single thing from Buy Stuff Arcade that I haven't loved. Even the 4-inch riser that I bought for the Ridge Racer from them. I love that because it raises the steering wheel to a more acceptable height for me. So I love those guys. Yeah, I got to head out later. I got to go to Costco to get some gas, and we're picking up dinner from. StreamYard just did something really weird. Am I still going, guys? Let me check. I think my laptop is getting overwhelmed. I'm going to stop my fireplace because I think my internet connection is dying. Yeah. I was streaming a fireplace back there, and I think my oh my goodness, what's going on here? I think I'm crashing here, guys. Yeah, if you could, guys, please hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. StreamYard is really acting up on me now. Frozen. I'm sorry, guys. I really am. The laptop I have is a HP Envy. Actually bought that from Best Buy. I'm Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. Thanks, PD7, for stopping by. I appreciate it. Oh God, that really sucks. Let me see if I got anything else going on here. Close some things. Oh, go back to the chat. All right, I'm going to keep going. I don't know the specs off the top of my head. It was one of the higher end HP Envies, but I got it on sale. Best Buy had such an incredible deal, and I thought it would be adequate for this. So anyway, can you all let me know in the chat if the stream is choppy or if it's back to normal or if I'm going to have to do something more drastic here. This is the first time that I've been streaming that I've had some issues here. I might have too many windows open, for crying out loud. Matter of fact, I'm going to close more here. I've got way too many browser sessions open. Clear up some memory here. All right. I believe it has its own graphics card. Yes, I believe there's a NVIDIA GeForce graphics card in it. Thank you so much for letting me know. Hey, Nerdloft, good to see you. Appreciate you stopping by. It's just acting really goofy on my end. So I'm trying to close down. I have several. I'm one of those guys that opens like 20 dozen browser sessions and then opens them up from memory. And I've gotten all these things open, but so I hope you're being entertained by my issues here. You know, a lot of these pages I don't need up. They're from past shows. Stupid. All right, I should be getting better. Well, okay. All right, bad guy, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, Biggie D, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. All right, moving on, since I am trying to not have technical difficulties here. So what I plan to do, and by the way, thanks everybody for jumping on the stream here. I mean, this is the most I've had on a stream since I started doing this a few weeks ago. So I really appreciate each and every one of you. I watch all your content too. Just this morning, I was watching Danny's stream from last night. So as I work out, I have YouTubers in my ears. I don't really have music playing when I'm lifting weights. I like to watch streams. But anyway, what I want to do here is you can see on the pic. Let me make it bigger. There we go. We'll make me tiny and make the photo bigger. The Joust has one of those TN monitors that just are so washed out. It's just ridiculous. So I've had Joust now for 6 months. And it's playable, but this has always bothered me. And I went out and bought a Dell 1715S as a replacement. I even already pre-stripped the monitor out of the case, so it's been sitting on a shelf, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. but you can see from the several vantage points that it's washed, just ugly. So my goal, as you can see, this is a live shot now of my work area. I carved out a little space in my basement to handle the building cabs now because there's no room in my actual arcade to do it anymore. And I know, Cornercade, you had told me to pull out the bookshelves, and I'm still thinking about that. I might do it and then move some of these cabinets to the wall, and that'll give me more room for more cabinets. But because I like to build in the arcade, but I'm just out of room. Can't do it, especially when I added that Space Invaders. Go back full screen here. So yeah, this is a live shot of my Joust cabinet. I get lost sometimes between StreamYard and OBS and what camera view and all that. Let's look through the chat real quick. Yeah. So that is all I pretty much want. I talked about the T2 mod and where I'm at with that. I think I already mentioned in a past show that I had to alter my NFL Blitz. The monitor in it failed. So, that was a mess. So I got that up and running again. I love Joust. I love the artwork. I have a lot of nostalgia for Joust. One thing that upset me that Arcade 1-Up did or didn't do is they didn't make Joust the default game on that cabinet. They made Mortal Kombat the default game. So when you start it up and you leave it, it auto starts the Mortal Kombat, or that's the game it goes into. And Joust should be the default game. It's top listed. I mean, Joust is the first game listed, but when you boot it up, it highlights Mortal Kombat right away. So it's just annoying. I have to go there and I have to move it up to Joust and load Joust. I'm not a Mortal Kombat guy. I'm not a fighter guy, really. I bought that Yoga Flame behind me because I wanted to get better at fighters. And I played somebody online the other night and he just obliterated me. I mean, I was getting creamed. I think he was like level 14, 15, and I'm like level 0. It's terrible. Okay, so I think I'm going to change over here to the actual mod. I was going to stream yesterday, but I was way too tired from shoveling. I was either going to do this mod that I'm talking about doing, or I was going to do maybe I was going to build the GRS Build-A-Cade, which I still have. Okay, so let me get my portable mic here. Oh, shoot. I forgot to do something. Switching over to my lavalier mic. Not high enough. All right. Look at my audio mixer. Test, test, test. I'm going to switch over to it from my desk mic. All right. Test, test, test. Am I still there? Yeah. Let me check it in StreamYard just to make sure. By the way, I have to apologize. I can see the audio is going out. Great. I have to apologize because I'm in my basement. So this Fifine microphone that I use for the desk mic picks up everything. And I know you probably heard the furnace kick in a couple of times, but there's not really, I'm sure there's some things I can do, but I only have these false partitions. I don't have walls here that I could block out that noise. Okay, I'm going to get a drink of water, and then I'm going to grab something that I can monitor the chat while I'm doing this. I meant to do that before the show, but I screwed up. Get my tablet here. All right. Sun's out here in Wisconsin. I don't know about you, but when we have a ton of snow on the ground and the sun's out, my eyes are just super sensitive. I can't handle that. All right. Wow, 69 degrees in El Paso. I wish I was. Like I mentioned earlier in the stream, I'm so looking forward to moving to Florida when I eventually retire. All right, I have my tablet. Where's YouTube? You're going to tell me I don't have YouTube on this thing? Oh, there it is. Google, YouTube. All right. So I wanted to get my... and this will allow me to monitor the stream too, because... there we go. All right. I can see myself. Good. All right. So I've done a couple of things beforehand because I didn't want this to take up a lot of time. So what I've done, and Joust is, as you know, with the midway form factor, the Joust has these little side panels, and you see it right here, these little wings. So I had to take that off, and then I had to also take off the control panel, and so I could get the wing off. And then I took off the back of the unit, and then I took out all the screws. So as you can see, I did not unscrew this thing that quickly. No. So yeah. So I try to do as much up front. All right. So the problem we have with Joust, and so if you're going to do this monitor replacement, the best thing you can do is, if you're going to do the monitor replacement, do it before you build it. It's just simpler that way. The problem is that the top screws on the bezel are above the speakers. So it's actually inside the cabinet. So in order to do a post-build monitor replacement, you gotta actually take it apart and then take the monitor casing out, which is what I'm gonna do here now. So that's the sad part about this, is some of these cabinets are getting, the design is changing a little. It used to be you could, like on the XLs, you can actually just take the bezel off without having to take it apart, the whole thing apart. And I did do a monitor replacement on the Golden T XL. That was a lot simpler than this. But this has been bugging me long enough, and I want to get it done. That's true, Biggie D. Monitor replacement should not have been required. I totally agree. But since we're in the position we're in, I mean, so I'm going to lift the monitor out. And then I had this all planned out, what I was going to do. Just going to turn this this way. And then I was going to do the work on the monitor here. And move the camera. Never mind the camera shake. I have to rerun my camera power. Sorry about the movement of the camera right now. I just want to get it to a point where I'm going to get the monitor glare or the light glare. Do it from this side. All right. So I'm going to try and keep this in frame. So we have the monitor assembly, basically. So what we have to do is we have to take the bezel off. And I'm sure those of you that are here have seen the videos, like 19K Fox's video, and there's one other guy, and I can't remember his name, that did a bunch of these. So I don't use a drill ever. I'm not saying it's not good. I know some of you like to use drills. I like the comfort of, and this is a ratchet. So these are good for arcade one-up builds. Looking at the chat. Yeah. Drills just raise the chances of you doing something stupid and damaging your cabinet. And I'm just like over tightening screws. Arcade one-ups have this thing about over tightening screws, especially when plastic's involved, or like this bezel. Can't over tighten these screws ever. Move this over. Maybe I'll move this over here so it's. I do my build slow as well. I've gotten some comments from some users on some of my videos, you know, because if you look at my playlist, I have a playlist of all my sped up builds. There's actually a guy out there that hated that and expected to see me do an actual build because he wanted to see how long it took and all of that. Well, I'm sorry. That's kind of a niche thing with me, is those fast videos that I do, sped up videos of builds. And I do one for every cabinet. So what I'm going to do, I think, going forward in the future, let's say I buy X-Men tomorrow. Oh, bye, Gotham. Good to see you. Have some breakfast for me, too. Thanks for stopping by, Gotham. I really do appreciate it. All right, so we're going to take off the bezel and try to minimize dust whenever you can. It's going to be hard, and I probably should wipe that. So now we have the monitor casing here, and we have screws on either side that we want to take out so we can get the monitor casing out itself. Because the reason why we have to do this is because the screws that hold the monitor assembly into the holder, or the, well, I don't even know what terms to use. But there's screws on the sides here that need to come out, and the only way to get at them is if you take it out. So you got to take it out. Now, like I said, the nice thing about the Golden Tee is that you could do this with the assembly still mounted in the cabinet. Much simpler mod. Now I go about this a little bit different. Yeah, I got the wireless antenna is still connected. There's a piece of tape holding it in place. We'll take that off. We'll just leave the tape on there. All right. We can set this aside for now. So here we have the monitor assembly. What I started to mention, I do this a little differently. There are guys out there that will take off the PCB, the covering, the PCB, and then disconnect the wiring and pull it through. I like to do it a different way, and you're going to see here in a second how I do it, and we'll see. First of all, I don't even know if I have enough light to do this, but you'll see how I go about this. I already did my Dig Dug Nerd Loft. I did that. So as you can see, on the sides here, there's two small screws. There's one screw behind this label right here. So yeah, it looks like I'm like buffering again, having issues. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I need a smaller screwdriver. Oh, if you're like me, you have a little area that you keep tools, especially the tools you use for the arcade. Thought I had a smaller screwdriver in here. All right. All right. So I've got my smaller screwdriver. And then we're just going to break through this stupid label. Actually, I'm going to try and peel it off because I can't see where I need to be going. There it is. All right, so we're going to do the other side now. And it's kind of dark here because I have the lights. The only thing I'm using are studio lights, and you got eyes as bad as mine. Sometimes it ain't good enough. Sometimes on my builds, I'll use my running light. I have a LED running light that I use when I run in the dark. And sometimes I'll use that in my Arcade 1-Up builds because sometimes it's really, really dark. Okay, so now this is the top of the monitor. This is the bottom of the monitor. Here's the thing. Actually, it'd probably be better if I turn this around, which is what I'm going to do. All right, so we look at our replacement monitor. And again, I already decased this. You buy a Dell 1715S and then you strip it. You basically gut it, take out the monitor. So right here we have our ribbon connection that goes right here. Well, that ribbon connection is at the top of the monitor. So looking at this assembly, the ribbon connection is right here. What I've done in the past when I've done these mods is I've carefully, get these out of the way, carefully lifted this up. And then, I don't know if the camera can pick that up. You're going to see my big head. So let's see if I can pull it up here. So in there, you've got your ribbon cable connection at the top. And then down below, you've got your LED connection down there. What I've done is I've tried to do this without taking off the PCB because I just don't want to deal with taking off the PCB. You just got to be careful and take your time with it. You're going to take off this tape that's holding the ribbon cable down. And be very careful with this, because you don't want to pull unnecessarily. Set this tape aside because you're going to reuse it. I'll be really pissed if this isn't going out over the internet and all this is for naught. So you expose the ribbon connector. And I've already ruined the tape. Oh well, I'll just use a piece of electrical tape if I can find it. So grab it by the sides, pull it out. So our ribbon connection, and make note of what color, where the red goes. The red in this case, from my perspective, is on the right. So just make a note so that you put that back on normally. So once you get that ribbon connection loose, the only connection you got to worry about is this LED connection. So we're going to take off this piece of tape. And remember your tape locations too when you do this, because you want to put some tape back in place. Either reuse the tape that you're taking off, like I'm breaking this all to hell. So I'm probably going to wind up having to replace it. You can do this without stripping the PCB off. And as I've watched other videos doing this, as long as you're careful, you don't have to mess with the PCB at all. You just have to worry about two cables. So let's try and get this connection out. This board is loose. That's because there's a screw missing. That's interesting. There's a screw missing on this board, whatever it is. Come on, get out of there. That's not even a screw hole there. So I don't know, they couldn't screw it in. Come on. Am I going to need to get a pair of pliers for this? I don't want to pull on the wires. All right, thank you for letting me know the stream's playing because it's jumpy on my end. I'm sure it's because I've got too much data going across my little net. There we go, my little stream. So we're free. We have the PCB still attached, cables, and then we have the monitor connections. So this is the old monitor. This is an M17OE TN01.1. So let's see if I can get that in the camera view. And the manufacture date is 22/15. I'm guessing that's 2022. Get it down lower. There we go. I don't know if it's in focus. My eyes are terrible. But again, the monitor, the old monitor is M17OE TN01.1. So we'll set the old monitor aside. And I'm destroying things here. I got to get a drink of water. Oh, well, you live streamers that do this all the time. Oh. Okay. Now we're going to put the new monitor in. Now, the new monitor is also a TN. But here's the thing. So this came out of a Dell 1715S. But you see the model number is the same. M17OETN01.1. But the manufacture date is 1446, whatever that means. But I'm guessing this is a 2014 production. So the earlier TNs were fine, supposedly. That's what I've been told. I could get this together and then find out this monitor is just as crappy as the other one, but this is the replacement monitor. Oh, we need that cable. We need the LED cable. So go back to the old monitor here. Sorry, I just kicked the camera. So we need this cable. We need this cable. Again, this tape is just fragile. Jeez. Arcade 1-Up don't want you to be taking this stuff off. Wow, that's one tough piece of tape. Jesus. Let's try it from the other end. See if I got better luck. Let's go gently and slower. All right. Not that I care about getting tape off the old monitor, because the old monitor is probably just going to get shit canned anyway. Excuse my language. I'm an ex-sailor. Actually, you know what they say? You can take the man out of the Navy, but you can't take the Navy out of the man. That's true. All right, so we're going to take this out. We're going to reuse that cable. Set aside old monitor and bring in the new. And we're going to put the cable back into the new used monitor. Get the camera moved here. All right. So I want to locate some tape. electrical tape because I'm not going to reuse the tape that I yanked off because it's broken. And oh, tape, 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 tape. There we go. Tape. You know, Cornicade had mentioned to me that I should redo a little area of my arcade, take out the bookshelves that I've been using to store parts and putting them outside the arcade so that, number one, I could probably more easily get at parts if I need to. All right, so I've replaced it. I've taped down similarly the way it was taped down in the other monitor. Yeah, never again volunteer. I've heard that one too. Yeah, yeah. D connection. And we're gonna insert it. Make sure I'm going in the right way here. Oh, geez. I didn't damage that board. I don't think so. I just got to get it in there. There we go. There we go. Now we've got the LED connected. Now the only connection we have to make is the ribbon. Oh man, stream frozen. What the heck? Testing. All right, I think I'm back to normal now. I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties. Oh, I may have to rethink my internet connection. For some reason, it should be good now. All right. So back to it. Connected the LED. Now I just got to connect the ribbon, and you just got to be careful about this. Like I said, you got to work this connection in, kind of support the back with your wrists while you're working this connector in. All right, so I've made my connection. Now, you want to tape that down. Just like it was before. Put a couple of pieces of tape there. Yeah, I'm so sorry about that, Nerd Loft. Let me see if I can do something else. So I'm putting a couple of pieces of tape so you can see the cable. I might put a third in there just for... I'm trying to think if anything else is going on the internet right now. Oh, you know what? Oh, I bet I know what this is. Bear with me, folks. I'm going upstairs to my desktop computer in my office. I bet my computer is backing up to the cloud. Oh, I'll be so mad if that's the case. I don't know if you can still hear this, but I'm in my office now. All right, let's look at... Okay, it doesn't appear to be backing up, so it's not my backup. Nothing's running on this computer. Let's close out all the YouTube windows. I'll close that out. I don't need that one anymore. Close that out. All right. All right. Nothing running over here. I'm going to disconnect. Disconnect my laptop for now. My work laptop, that is. Just trying to lighten the stream, lighten the amount of data coming in and out of my house. Again, these are things that I'm learning as I do this. I am a network administrator by trade, and so when stuff like this happens, I got to believe that I got too much data going out and in. All right, so we're still going. Let me know how it is now. Still choppy. I may have to close this out. All right, so I'm closing out my tablet. Because just downloading the stream back off the internet is probably clobbering it. So if I don't answer your chats, I'm going to try and check back with my desktop down here in the arcade, but just closing as much browser windows as I can. Let's close that. I don't need that anymore. Close that. Close that. Close that. All right, I've got my laptop down now to bare minimum stuff. But I'm pretty sure it's my internet connection that's dogging me today. All right, so I'm gonna pick back up and hopefully get through the rest of this. I'll watch it later to see how bad it is. All right, so I've made my connections. I've got the LED connected. I've got the ribbon cable, or not ribbon cable, but the monitor cable connected and then taped down, both areas taped down. Now all I got to do is screw this back into place. So I got to tell you, and I'm having, there we go. Gotta fit this in here. There we go. There we go. All right, now we're in. So you got to get this lined up. And what they tell you in some of the videos on the internet is to don't screw these in all the way, because you might damage, I don't know, the LED strip or whatever it is. But for some reason on these replacement monitors, you're just supposed to screw them in just enough to hold it in place. So that's what I'm going to do as soon as I can get the darn screw in. Because again, you got to get the holes lined up. If you hear meowing, that's my baby cat upstairs. Hold up. All right. So I'm screwing it in, but I'm not tightening it. I'm just going to leave it a little loose. That cat's really meowing. Again, tiny, tiny screws. I wish I had a magnetic screwdriver. Come on. This is hard to do with just two hands. And you got to get it in the hole. And I can see the hole. I just can't get the screw in it long enough that I can. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Stay in there. This is the point where I start cussing. Usually. Patience, weed hopper. I wish I could see your chat. I bet you all are laughing right now. This is probably why Corner Kate says, I don't mod because of this. All right. Got it. One side done. All right. Same deal on the other side. Just get the screws in. But again, don't over tighten them. This side's going in a lot easier than the other side, perhaps because it was so loose. All right. Okay. So we have our new monitor in. Actually, this is top. We have our new monitor in. Connections are made. I didn't have to touch the PCB. Okay. And for me, it's just simpler that way. It may not look at that, with all the trouble I had to go through, but it's just simpler that way. All right. So now what we need to do is put it back into the bezel housing. We'll call it that. All right. Check the camera angle. Doing all right. I'll zoom out. Okay. Make sure you have your orientation correct. Make sure top, bottom, and then top, bottom on your, because if you put it in upside down, you're going to be sorry. I mean, I'm sure you notice it when you go to seat this back in to the one-up cabinet, but then you start putting your screws back in. Again, I don't over tighten. I just tighten enough to hold it in. Later today, I'm going to go get pizza, and then I'm probably going to stop at Best Buy just to see what's what. See if they have any more in-store 315 deals. Wish I could go to Synergy, but they're not open on Sundays. Thankfully, I have tomorrow off, and I'll be able to go back to that warehouse that PD7 featured in this video. And I'll see if I can pick up the X-Men. If I do, you'll see a live build stream tomorrow. Okay. Pick up some garbage. Again, you can see some of the dust bunnies. All right. So now we have to put the bezel back on. And hopefully no dust has gotten in there. It's a little dirty from just oh yeah, it's got stuff on the backside. There's my cloth. There it is. That's dust on the outside. Looks pretty good so far. All right. So now let's reattach the bezel. Again, if you're buying a Joust cabinet and you intend to do the monitor replacement, do this while you're assembling. It's a pain to have to get back in there and take it apart. So I've had this in the hopper. I've had this replacement monitor for weeks, actually months. And I've sat on it because I knew what a pain in the butt it was going to be taking apart the Joust cabinet. But this is on my project list for the winter, so I'm checking the box. And you guys are along for the ride. Again, don't over tighten these screws. Just enough to hold it in place. Because if you do, you're going to crack the bezel and you won't be a happy camper. I've cracked one bezel, actually two. Well, no, I cracked the Star Wars control panel and they sent me a new one back in the days when the Arcade 1-Up sent you stuff new. Or sent you some replacement parts. And they're not into that so much anymore. The other one I cracked, I think it was actually Joust. No, it was Dig Dug. I cracked the Dig Dug bezel. Checking the chat. Nothing there. Down to one viewer. I hope you're seeing what I'm putting out. And my issues have gone away. All right, let's finish up these screws. All right, last screw. All right, the assembly is reassembled. Let's reattach them. Reattach the Wi-Fi. Okay. We want to move the cabinet back into place. All right. I'm going to move my camera. Excuse the shakiness. All right. Plug my phone back in so it doesn't die while I'm shooting this video. Only down to 80%. That's good. Dig Dug. Let me look at Dig Dug real quick, Nerd Loft. The Dig Dug screws are just below the speaker. I did mine before I assembled it, the Dig Dug. So if you look at your top screws, actually, let me look where the bottom screws are on this thing. Oh, crap. You know what? You're going to have to disassemble it. Sorry about that, man. Because the screws on the bottom are below the control panel. You might be able to get away with it. Actually, you could probably take the control panel off and then get the bezel out that way. It might be a little tight to work that bezel out, so just be careful when you're doing that. I found that out the hard way with the Golden Tee. It was a little rough, but if you bend it just ever so slightly, it'll pop out. So that might be the case with Dig Dug. You might be able to do it without taking it totally apart. You'll have to take the control panel out. But taking the side panel off, you might be able to get away with it. I'd give it a try. It might be a little tight getting a screwdriver up there to get those top screws off. But, give her a try. All right, I'm away from the chat window. So let's put the monitor assembly back. Make sure we get our orientation correct. This is where the headlamp would come in handy, so I can see where these holes are. All right, I think I'm pretty lined up. Yep. I also don't go too tight on these. These are, I don't know, it's just me. With these arcade one-ups, the MDF seems so delicate sometimes with screws. Like that screw is stripped out. It won't even tighten. Bummer. All right, so the monitor is in. I'm going to go ahead and remake my connections because it's easier for me to see. So I got my marquee. That goes there. I got my speaker. That goes there. All right, and the other two are for the control panel. Now let's put the side panel back on. You might think I probably should have tested this. And you would be right. Probably should have. There we go. This is the part of cabinet building that I hate, is getting all this lined up. Come on. Oh. That's what I'm missing. Get in the hole. Oh, really? That's in. I don't know if you need to remove the side panel nerd loft. I'd give the bezel a shot after you take off the control panel. This is hard to do in my current table setup. Come on. I'm glad I'm doing this live so you all can see me fumble here. Okay. There we go. Come on, get in there. Well, you know what? I'm going to start putting screws in. No, not there. Start over here. Live modding. Where it's at, right? That's the reason why I took the screws out before I even started the stream, so it didn't take forever. But hey, it's a live stream. You all can fast forward through it. The parts you don't want. Speaking of fast forwarding, I hope those of you that watched the T2 video got something out of it. You were able to skip to wherever you wanted to go. When I do these side panels, I like to start from the bottom and work my way up. But this right here is throwing me off for some reason. Ooh. I'm not tightening these all the way yet. All right. Now, why aren't you cooperating, you dipshit? Ooh. I made progress. Yes. Eureka. Beautiful cab, pain in the ass. All right, so I'm up to here with the screws. Okay, we're in there. The monitor's not in. Well, don't lose the marquee. This ends in. You know, it'll be sad if I get this all put back together and this monitor doesn't work. But you guys are along for the ride, right? I mean, or if you're watching this on a restream, at least you're not having to deal with all of the bullshit like I am. So for some reason, the monitor doesn't look like it's feeding. That ends in. That's good. Just got to get the top in. Oh, don't pull that. No. Oh, man. I didn't expect to have this many difficulties putting this thing back together. Wow. That hole's lined up. These two holes are almost lined up. There's something internal that's having an issue. All right, I'm going to have to turn this cabinet. That just made it worse. I'm sorry guys. This is just, I'm sure you've been through these, putting these panels on and running into the same shit that I'm running into. Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry for cussing. All right. Now we're in there. Monitor seems to be fine. Get this in. Oh. This definitely hasn't gone the way I had hoped. Ah, what a nightmare. I wonder. I'm going to attach the monitor and see if I can keep that in, at least in place. I'm doing all this working around. No. Well, that was a bad idea. Stay there. That's not working. Again, sorry for the language. This is like frustrating as all get out. Well, let's take a break. Look at the chat, see if anybody's still here. Yeah. Yes, it has been a test in patience. Oh my goodness. I don't recall this being as frustrating. I'm about ready to take this hoodie off because I'm starting to get really hot. You see if I have my headlamp down here. No, I do not. Oh, yes, I do. I do. Nerdloft, you're a trooper. I mean, sticking around this long. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the support. You don't know how many times I've wanted to hit the F-bomb. See, I can get that in just fine. So what's stopping it now? That one, these two are lined up. I'm almost there. Come on, damn it. Snap into place. What is it? Talk to me, goose. What are you hanging up on, man? I want to know. Beauty of live TV, right? corner is in. There's an inner piece, the B1 piece, that's part of the speaker assembly. Actually, the B1 is the marquee backlight. So there's that piece. Oh. You heard the snap, right? That's the snap that every arcade one-up builder loves to hear. Oh my goodness. Woohoo. Those of you still here, God bless you. Nerd Loft, if you're still here, God bless you. All right, so this monitor don't work. I'm going to be pissed. Pissed beyond recognition. Just want to get the screws in. All right, I'm going to move this into the arcade. And I'll move the camera over as well. I'm going to move it into the arcade and put the wing back on and the control panel. These are the control panel. One, two, wait a minute. One still missing. Oh, one was for the wing. Okay. All right. All right, so let's take this off. Don't need it anymore. Yeah, really. Let's go back to a wider view here. What do I want? I'm still going to use the cell phone, but for now, let's do this. Okay, so you get a view of the entire arcade. I'm going to turn the lights on in the arcade just so I can see better. I'll turn them back off. We need to see the screen better. All right. So I'm going to move the riser out, and I'm just going to set it here. I have my little riser. Oh, and I need power. I'm going to do something I never do, and that's daisy chain. Power. Nobody's looking, right? There's no electricians in house. This is only temporary. Only temporary. All right. Switch on here. Yes. There we go. All right. So let's get the cabinet back into place. And I'll move the camera. Well, you can see it. And that's the sound of me lifting this stupid thing. All right. Thank God. Okay. Woo-hoo. Let's move the camera back over. This is all being done live. Figuring out camera placement here. All right, that's good for now. All right. Now let's get that wing back on. Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Bring my screws over here. Oh, I suppose part of my internet issues earlier could have been because I'm using my cell phone camera, which is across my home internet. That could have been an issue too. All right, so we need to screw in. Need to screw in the wing. Got our little peg hole there. Stay. Trying to stay out of the camera view here. Well, I really apologize for the whole mess that I have. If it served anything, it served to tell people that, yes, that last side panel is a pain in the ass to put on. After this stream, I get to go pay bills. So I'll be upstairs in the home office working the rest of the day until I got to go get dinner. All right. Now we'll go get the control panel. Make our control panel connections. Pretty much know by memory how these things go in. All right, control panel in. I did my dig dart backwards. Oh, shit. I never noticed that. You're right. You're absolutely right. Holy moly. Well, that's on my project list. Wow. Attention to detail, we always say in the Navy, right? I never knew that. Thank you for pointing that out, because I would have never known it until I actually took a good hard look. I won't live stream that. I'll just do it. All right, before I screw in the control panel, let's plug this thing in, see what the monitor does. Seeing as how that's what you're hanging around for, right? Oh, I got to put the back panel on. Boy, I'm really... What the hell's going on now? All right, now it seems to be fine. I wonder if my laptop is... Wrong way. Hooking up the power. Plug her in. All right. Let's re-aim the camera. Moment of truth, right? All right. Oh, shit. That does not look good. Oh, man. After all that. It's completely messed up. Well, sometimes these things go good. Sometimes... What the hell is my camera doing? Why is it aiming at Robotron? I don't have a thing aiming over there. Well, either I got a bad monitor, could be a connector. That's deflating. That really is. See, now I have to take the whole damn thing apart again just to check the connection, because I don't think I'm going to stick on the live stream for that. It's just like pink. The screen is, I don't know if you can see it very well. Let me turn off this light. If I can adjust my cell phone camera. See, now it's gone into Mortal Kombat mode. So that's pretty much what the screen looks like right now. I'm kind of bummed. No, because the connectors that I worked with are inside the the connections that I worked with are inside the monitor support or assembly, the monitor assembly. And that's screwed into the bezel. And so I have to pop that out. Then I have to pop out those little screws, and I got to pop the monitor away from the assembly so that I can check those connections again. But I swore that thing was in. Well, what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to have to take this offline and play with it. And I'm just going to connect the control panel directly to the bezel rather than reassemble the cabinet. I'm not going to reassemble the cabinet until I know it works. It could be that I've got a bad monitor. Oh, well. Is what it is, right? That was my project. Well, look, I'm going to end the stream now. And then I'm going to go say a few choice cuss words. And then I'm just going to start from scratch on my own and see if I can't hammer this out. Again, if I get it sorted out today, I'll post pictures of it, but I need a break. I need to do something else for a while. Nerdloft, man, I got it. I appreciate you, man. You hung with me there till the end, and it's really appreciated. Sometimes these things go well, sometimes they don't. Every monitor replacement I've done has gone well. This one didn't. So I'll take it apart, reseat the connections, put it back, and test it outside the cabinet first before I stick it all back together. And if it still doesn't work, then I'll just put the old monitor back in. I'm just, ugh. Appreciate you, Nerdloft. Thanks for watching. If you're watching this on a restream, I'm going to update the description so you know it was a failure first, so you don't watch the whole thing through. So I'll at least do that. But thank you for watching, everybody. Thanks to everybody that joined and hopped on the stream and lended their support. I really appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you like what you see, even though it was a failure, please hit the like button, smash the subscribe button. I appreciate it. I'm just a small YouTuber trying to make my way in the world and trying to do good. And sometimes these things just don't go the way they plan. So stay tuned. I'll provide an update on the channel when I know more about this Joust cabinet. And we'll see you then. All right. Thank you very much.